Hi, this is Kit Cavello with Veracity In Defiance, and I'm today joined by...
Geoffrey Cubbage. Thanks, Kit. Thanks for having me here. I should say thanks for joining us here at our Green Party of Chicago annual holiday fundraiser.
We're glad to be here. So it's about time people find out who the Green Party is and what they're all about. So why don't you tell our viewers and subscribers what you specifically do for the Green Party?
Sure, thanks. So I am the volunteer director of the Illinois Green Party. I also do some of the media relations for the Green Party of Chicago, which is the institution that's hosting tonight. But the hat that I wear most often is volunteer coordinator for the Illinois Green Party, which means it's one of the two paid staff positions we have in the state. It means that if people need the Green Party to do something, I'm the one who finds the people to do that thing, whether it's showing up for a rally, getting out the vote for an election like we had with Jill Stein just recently. And with the next couple of years being local elections in March and then not very much from March through next March of 2018, there's going to be a lot of actions on the ground. It's going to be a lot of movement building. It's going to be a lot of demonstrations. It's going to be a lot of rallies, things like that. So I'll be the point person on getting greens to help all the many causes that need more progressive bodies on the ground here in Chicago and across the state of Illinois.
Now, it's quite clear that with Donald Trump being elected as president, there's a lot of people who are angry, upset, and feel that our election system is flawed to a degree that the two-party establishment system won't ever rectify it. So have you seen firsthand a huge influx of Green Party volunteers rise, at least, or more people like calling the Green Party headquarters or Illinois Green Party, like trying to get involved?
Yeah, that's a good question, and yeah, the short answer is it started long before the election. It started, the biggest influx almost certainly came after the Democratic convention, when it was clear that Bernie Sanders would not be the candidate. There was a large influx of progressives to the Green Party who said that, well, there's no one left who represents our values outside of the Green Party. And that was the first big influx we've had. But yeah, since the election, it's been less an influx of volunteers and more an influx of calls from groups, progressive groups, saying, we're doing this action against Trump, we're doing this action to help immigrants, we're doing this action to help women. Can the Green Party lend us some troops on the ground? Can you be there? Can you be a presence? Will you show up? And, you know, my answer is always, yeah, we're there with our green shirts on. We'd love to be there. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I bring a bunch of people along with me. It just depends on the date, the time, the weather, you know. But I think the next year or two, there's going to be an awful lot of things to resist. And there are clearly some people out there who are looking to the Green Party as leaders of a resistance, and I think that's great, and I want us to be there for them.
It's clear there's going to be some challenges that the Green Party is going to have to face. That's something all independent parties are going to have to face. When we first met you, it was actually at the WTTW PBS building, when the fact that Chicago Tonight would not have the Green Party candidate or the Libertarian Party candidate on the debate stage because they felt that they weren't verified or, you know, good enough to be on the stage. So why don't you explain to our viewers and subscribers what exactly the challenges are to get independent candidates on a debate stage? And then secondly, because of 2018 is going to be around the corner, what challenges are you guys going to have to face during that election year as well?
Sure, yeah, thanks. So what Kit's referring to at that first meeting there was an experience we had with the Illinois Green Party where we had candidates who were on the ballot. They had gathered the signatures they needed. They were legal candidates. Voters could vote for them. It wasn't a write-in. It wasn't an independent candidacy. They were there on the ballot with the little G after their name. Valid candidates. And WTTW, which is Chicago's ostensibly public broadcasting station, held a forum for candidates for that particular office. It was the comptroller's office. They said, we're going to have a candidates forum. All the candidates for this office can come tell our viewers what their positions are. And all only meant the Democrats and the Republicans. The Libertarian candidate and the Green Party candidate who were on the ballot were not invited. When they asked to be invited, they were told, no, we don't consider your candidacy valid, despite it being a legal candidacy. So that's the sort of uphill battle we face, is that you do have media that says if you don't have a D or an R after your name, you're not real, you don't exist, we're not going to waste time telling the voters about you. And that makes it harder to reach voters for obvious reasons. And that's certainly why independent media groups like Veracity In Defiance are so important in this 21st century. A lot of people are realizing there are gatekeepers and they're not doing a good job. They are denying valuable information to the public. So, you know, the information needs other channels to find out there. And it's great that you guys are doing that. For 2018, you asked about obstacles in 2018. I think we're going to see very much a repeat of what we saw with the Stein candidacy. There is this unlevel playing field in Illinois. There's petition signatures, a requirement to get on the ballot in Illinois. You have to turn in a petition from registered Illinois voters that say, I want this party on the ballot. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party will have to turn in somewhere between 2,000, 3,000 signatures-ish. Green Party and any other parties, the Libertarians, anyone else who wants to run, will need to submit a minimum of 25,000. Those signatures will then be challenged by the Democrats, which means realistically you need about 50,000. So you look at the numbers to get on the ballot as a Democratic candidate for governor, you have to gather maybe 3,000 signatures. To get on the ballot as a Green Party candidate for governor, you have to gather 50,000. I mean, it's just an astronomical difference. It's the effort it takes to gather 50,000 signatures is very different from the effort it takes to gather 3,000. So that's going to slow us down, and there's no way around it. That is how the law is written. It is written to discourage third parties. It is written to force you to make a choice between just one of two options, two bad options, with Governor Rauner as one of them. We know that's a bad option on the Republican side, and whoever the Democrats put up is looking increasingly likely to be another person who represents the moneyed interests of Illinois, the billionaires of Illinois. The Green Party will not be running someone who represents the billionaires of Illinois. The Green Party will be running someone who represents as broad a swath of Illinois as possible. We're working on candidate recruitment right now. I'm very much looking forward to having an active challenge to both parties in the governor's race and in the down ballot races in 2018.
Okay, so is there anything like our viewers and subscribers can do to help, like maybe stop this hindrance from the independents, like from getting on the debate stage or ballot? Like, is there a certain office that they can call to say, hey, can you make it more of a level playing field for the Green Party or Libertarian Party candidates to be on the ballot and be on the debate stage?
Sure. So the short answer is, yeah, in theory, you could call your state representative and say, this is state law. This is not federal law. These are Illinois state laws. So you could call your state representative and say, hey, can we make petition requirements equal for all candidates? Every candidate has to gather the exact same number of signatures to get on the ballot. That's a law that the legislature could pass tomorrow if they wanted to. They don't want to for obvious reasons. It doesn't serve either Democrats or Republicans to pass that law. If there's one thing the two parties agree on, it's ensuring that there are only two parties. So yeah, you could call your legislators, you could tell them this is an important issue to me, I want you to do this. I don't know how far that will go. Ultimately, the solution is going to be electing third parties despite the obstacles. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. It's going to take enough people saying enough is enough. If Democrats won't level the playing field, if Republicans won't level the playing field, I care enough about democracy to vote for the parties that are actively campaigning on equal ballot access. And that's the Green Party fundamentally in Illinois. That's who's offering that. So.
Now, it's clear that corporate media runs the narrative that if you vote independent, if you support a Green Party, a Libertarian Party, a Socialist Party, you're wasting your vote, you're wasting your time. How do you feel about that when corporate media at least makes that comment about independent parties?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no question. The idea that American voters, we love this idea of American democracy. It is so great. This is the shining city on a hill. This is the greatest democracy in the world. And then we're telling people you only get two choices in any given election. Virtually every other democracy in the world gives their voters more choices than that. So it's truly pathetic. And the idea that media would prop that up it's disheartening. You do get used to it. You get numb to it after a while. You sort of you host an event and you say, sure, we'll send the press release out, and then none of the crews will show up, and you do get used to it, and that's sad. I wish that weren't the case. But the argument that no, everyone should have to channel all of their political beliefs through one of two parties, which are very similar on a lot of important issues, it's ridiculous. And the Green Party will always be there to say it's ridiculous. And every election, more people listen. I mean, you look at the results in Illinois this last time around. It's very easy to compare because Jill Stein was the candidate in 2012 as well. She got more than 3 times as many votes in 2016 as she did in 2012. A jump of 300% is pretty good for a party, to be honest. So these are small gains in the aggregate, but it all adds up over time. And it's a growing wave that I think is going to take a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans in Illinois by surprise in the coming years.
Okay, and final question for our viewers and subscribers who are going to be watching this, sharing this on their social media, where can they go to probably learn more about the Green Party or Illinois Green Party, and perhaps where they can go to probably help out?
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that question. To get more involved with the Illinois Green Party or just to learn more about it, the best stop is ilgp.org for Illinois Green Party, ilgp.org. That website has a membership application, it has a volunteer application, it has a donation page, which we would love for everyone to use. That's the hub for everything. There are also pages for a lot of the local chapters. Green Party of Chicago and people like that maintain their own websites. People can contact me directly at volunteer@ilgp.org. the word volunteer, and then at ilgp.org. There are also forms on the website that they can submit to email me directly. So any of those is a great way to join. As soon as you email me, I'll be on the phone the next day giving you a call and finding out how you want to help and what we can do for you. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Geoffrey, for joining us here at Veracity In Defiance.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I'll stay tuned.
All right. Peace and stay woke, everyone.
Peace and stay well.